Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Walking Dead universe, and in today's video, we're going to be going over some brand new preview photos for episode 4 of The Walking Dead Ones Who Live. Also going to be going over your Q&A comments and questions for part 1 of the Q&A for 104. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another Q&A video. This is part 1 of 2 of our Q&As leading up to episode 4 of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. So, we're going to go through your Q&A comments and questions for today. Grabbed a lot of them. You guys had a lot of really great comments and questions for this week. So, definitely going to do a part 2 for this as well, probably on Friday, like usual. Because, like I said, Ones Who Live is such a big show. I'm aiming for 2 Q&As a week as long as I can, get around to them, of course. Plus, I love going through your guys' comments and questions. But speaking of you guys for a second, I want to make a little bit of a PSA at the beginning of this. I am floored that we hit 200,000 subscribers on the channel yesterday. I was like, what in the frig just happened? Like, seriously, I did not expect that whatsoever. So I want to thank you all. Before we get into this, I think we do have to take a second to acknowledge how amazing you guys are for getting me to this point. Honestly, like I said, when I started this channel about 8 years ago, I was like a little 12-year-old kid. Kind of gives you an idea how old I am. Doing videos on who I thought Negan killed in the lineup. And there was 2-3 people watching at the time, and that I was good with that too. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get 100 subscribers at the most, if I'm lucky, and then that'll be the end of it, I never looked at YouTube as a big thing back then. I started it and randomly just grew, but it feels like a snap of a finger, and all of a sudden I have you guys all 200,000 of you. It blows my mind. It really does. I never asked for it. I'm so grateful that it happened, and honestly, I never, ever, ever thought we would get to that point. Never did. So you guys are the ones to thank for that. You guys got me here, and without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. So we are going to announce a Dan's Reviews live stream to go ahead and celebrate. We are going to go live on YouTube here probably in another week or so. I'll let you guys know the date on when I actually do it, but there will be a Dan's Reviews live stream coming up. So, because I want to celebrate with you guys, I want to talk with you guys, I want to discuss, some stuff with you guys. So, there will be a live stream on the channel. I will announce the date soon, but figured I'd just kind of say that now, and you guys can join in, of course. I'll let you guys know, obviously a few days in advance before we do it, but definitely want to celebrate with a bit of a live stream because I haven't done a live stream in a few years, not to mention, I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to go through your guys' comments and, kind of celebrate in a kind of a fun way. So we'll definitely do that. I also real quick wanted to go over a few of these preview photos for episode 4. I figured I'd just throw these into the Q&A as well too because they're not that major this week. This week for the preview photos, they kind of, are keeping a lot of things a secret, which I noticed, which makes sense, of course, because this is a big episode for Rick and Michonne. But we got this shot right here of Rick in his CRM outfit right here, still just fresh from the rain after being taken from Michonne. And you could tell she's just like, yeah, no, we needed a timeout. You're going crazy in there. And you got Rick that's kind of not so sure. So he's insisting that, of course, they go back, which obviously makes sense. He's been in there a long time. But yeah, here he is right here. Another shot of him here. I'm just kind of looking at Michonne. Again, another shot of him here. They're in a really fancy building here. They got electricity on and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm curious to see what all that's about. You got Michonne here with a new shirt, clean shirt, and they got a nice view there of the water, which evidently, from what Denai said, that's the water they fell in. So that's interesting. And yeah, Rick is talking with her again. I'm expecting a lot of dialogue here. So her talking to Rick. You guys see what I mean though? It's yeah, it's not the most major preview photos. They're pretty simple. Yeah, so you got just again them talking. Her in a hallway here. Love this shot right here. That's awesome. With the window in the background there. Pretty cool. Again, her walking down a hallway. Pretty simple. Not too much to say there. Another one of her talking to Rick. Pretty cool. Not too bad. Again, another one of her talking to Rick. You know what I mean? It's kind of difficult to kind of say there's much to these, but they're cool though. I love them. They're really cool, and it gets me really excited for episode 4. So first off from Demi, who says that, Dan, do you think that Pearl Thorne is jealous of Michonne, or maybe, a little threatened by her, and that's why she was going to shoot her in episode 3? Maybe also because Michonne and Rick are pretty good fighters together, and she knows that, and she looks at Rick as her family, and she doesn't want Michonne getting in the way. Now, I think that is definitely the case. Yeah, I feel like Pearl Thorne has a little bit of jealousy issues when it comes to Michonne, because Michonne knows her shit, and I don't think Pearl likes that. I think she wants Michonne to be a bit more vulnerable and a little less, tough and to the point, I don't think she likes the fact that she couldn't push that one thing, right? And then Michonne comes in and she pushes it. I don't think she liked that. And, I've said it many times before, episode 3 really shocked me because I expected Pearl Thorne to be a good guy, and that is not at all what they're doing with her. She is going in a absolute villain route, and it's really shocking to see. So I'm curious to see where it goes. But yeah, threatened by Michonne? Probably. To be honest, yeah, I could agree with that. Next one comes from Dr. Smarty Pants. It says, Dan, what do you think of the explanation that Jada said in episode 3 that apparently the reason why CRM had to deal with, Jadis and her junkyard is because in exchange for A's and B's, the CRM would give her and her people some supplies. What do you think of that? I still find it a little far-fetched. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to, keep it real. I don't see a scenario where the CRM would give a shit about a junkyard. I really don't. Yes, there are A's and B's, and, they could trade those in and stuff like that. I get that, but it's like, I just don't understand how in the world they would make a deal with a junkyard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, think about that for a minute. A junkyard. A total shit pit, Like, I just don't see a high-functioning, government type of, group with a whole bunch of soldiers and this big military, corporation agreeing to some, lady that barely speaks a lick of English, and lives in a junkyard. I don't see how in any way that would fall under, the rules of the CRM. I just don't get it. But again, maybe they'll explain it in a better fashion. I don't know if they will, but yeah, it's to me, it's a little convenient. It definitely is one of those scenarios where it's like, yeah, you could tell they didn't write the CRM fully out back then, and now they're kind of, writing themselves into a bit of a corner, which is fine. It took them many years to write this series anyway. I don't view that as a problem with Ones Who Live, but I do view it as a problem with the original Walking Dead. They should have had things more planned out. That's the one thing I'll say. But it is what it is, I don't believe that Jadis would make a deal with the CRM and that the CRM would even care about the junkyard or who they are, but maybe I'm wrong, that's definitely possible. Maybe I'm wrong in some way, shape, or form. Next one comes from Zaz, who says that, Dan, do you think that Negan will ever tell Maggie in Dead City about the helicopter that he saw in 814 of the original Walking Dead? Maybe that'll be a connecting point with Dead City, Daryl Dixon, and Ones Who Live, is that Negan, maybe sees a helicopter again and remembers his time with Jadis. Yeah, it has to be something like that. The only problem with that, and the thing that I don't understand about Dead City, is that they are many years ahead from where Daryl and Ones Who Live are at right now. So you mean to tell me that Rick and Daryl and all that stuff, with the CRM and whatever is going on there, like, you mean to tell me that Rick waited like 5 years, you know what I mean? Like, what, 5-6 years? And Beale didn't attack Rick at one point or another, or something didn't go down, Again, we'll have to see how they explain it, but yeah, that definitely is a bit of a question I have for sure. But again, we'll see. There is time to explain it. I just never understood why Dead City is so far ahead in the timeline. That's one thing I never understood about that show, but again, we'll have to see. Now, in terms of, Negan and him knowing about the CRM, I mean, like I said, if they want to make that connection, that definitely would make sense. Although I just simply say that Dead City should have never done that big time skip, because now it's making it really difficult for that show to have any kind of connections or ties to CRM or anything of the sort. Hell, for all we know, the CRM is burned to the ground by Dead City, and we don't even know it, I doubt it, but, it's definitely not something that, like, how are you going to prove otherwise, right? Like, Dead City is way ahead in the timeline. So, they really got to fix those timeline issues. They really do. But again, we'll have to see how they execute it. Maybe it'll make sense in the long run. But, Negan mentioning the CRM in Dead City would definitely give it more of a purpose. I do agree with that. And I think Dead City, if there's one spinoff right now that needs more of a connecting point, it's definitely Dead City, for darn sure. Dead City relies a lot on previous storylines rather than current storylines, Whereas Daryl Dixon and The Ones Who Live, they're focusing on current day stuff. Dead City is very much like, okay, Maggie's talking about, you know, Glenn all the time. You got the Saviors that are making a bit of a comeback with the Croat. You know, it's very in the past type of storyline, which is funny because it's the furthest in the timeline, you know, ahead, right? So it's weird, but yeah, I don't know. Dead City does need a bit more of a purpose. Hopefully the CRM, maybe Negan recognizes that, and maybe that's our connecting point. We'll just have to see how that works out. That's really all there is to it, at least as of right now. Next one comes from John, who says that, Dan, what do you think of Major General Buell so far, played by Terry OQuinn, so far in the show now that we're midway through? So, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think anything of him at all. And the reason why I say that is mostly because we haven't seen much of him yet. I can't really judge him. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, because I know he's supposed to be Major in 1B. I know that he's supposed to be Major in the final few episodes. I'm kind of just holding out for that before I give you a full opinion on his character. I like the actor, though. I like the charisma a lot. Terry OQuinn is absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, he played John Locke on Lost, so he's, you know, a pretty big actor. And I like, you know, what they've given of him so far. You know, it's been minor, but I've liked it. I'm just kind of waiting for the bigger stuff to happen, you know, if that makes any sense. But I love the charisma of Terry OQuinn. I really, really do. But we'll revisit this by the end of the season, and I'll kind of be able to give my full thoughts on Buell and kind of go into his character once we see more of him, you know? Because I don't really feel like he's done anything, like, villainous so far, you know? Yes, he's the man in charge, but I'm waiting for that big moment where people are like, oh, you son of a bitch, you know? That's the moment I'm waiting for. We haven't seen it yet, but I feel like it's, you know, it's going to happen. And then the last one comes from Kobe, who says that, Dan, do you think that we will end up seeing Rick and Michonne reach Alexandria or maybe Commonwealth towards the end of this show? Probably Commonwealth, yeah, because they still have the set currently right now. And again, it's one of those things where you cannot wrap this show up, especially if it's a limited event, without them getting back to, you know, the community and seeing Judith and seeing RJ and stuff like that. So yeah, I think we'll get something like that, although I don't know, you know, if it'll be this season, because if this is a limited event, then yes, I think we'll see Commonwealth. If there are multiple seasons, then they could push it off to another season, which, you know, I hope they don't do it, but, you know, we'll have to see. So anyway, post your comments down below. Again, guys, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for getting me to 200,000 subscribers. Again, we're going to do a live stream here very soon. Again, give me, I'd say, about a week or so, and we'll end up doing one of those as well, where I can interact with you guys and talk, you know, live Walking Dead Ones Who Live stuff with you guys as well too. Think that'll be a lot of fun. And well, anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos of the Walking Dead universe. Be sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos of the Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.